Hello everyone, this is a showcase video for one of my latest builds. This build is from the mind of me. There is no YouTube tutorial or anything for this build. I kind of just went with it. I got some like pictures off good old Google and then took the Ark landscape, how it gave me, and then just went from there. This build is on our Omega Community Center. This build is our Omega Community Center on our Omega Center map, so it'll be like the interior is designed for a community center. Now, as I said, this build doesn't have a tutorial because it was kind of a spur of the moment. I needed to build a community center, so I just kind of went with it and didn't record it. But I will explain in this video, in as much detail as I can think of, how to build this. So first off, building this building, there's a nice big part on the top, has to be in a certain spot because of that cliff right there. So I use the landscape to my advantage and built it onto a cliff, and it built perfectly. Like, that bridge is perfect. It fits just above the land. It was made for it. This spot was made for two buildings. So the spot on the map is right there. If you can see, it's latitude 55.2, longitude 57.5. So just right there on the map, you can pause your screen to find it, is where you have to build this base. This base won't build the exact same anywhere else. Even if you find another really cool rock to kind of build that second part on, it's not going to be the same. Because as said, it literally, that bridge right there fits perfect. Now, do note, you don't have to build the secondary part onto it. You can build like this part pretty much anywhere. That part doesn't matter. It's just you won't be able to build the top part up there. And really, that top part, it makes it. Like, look at that. Look at it up there. It's awesome. We'll go into more detail with that in a little bit. So this is our community center. I built it probably about a week or two ago, and then now I'm just recording the video. So there's the big building in total. It's massive, like massive. I used rustic Clinger's Rust. I think it's Clinger's Rustic. No, my mistake. ASR. So there are modded structures in here, but I'm pretty sure the entirety. So yeah, ASR right there. I use these guys, the ASR steep roofs and the ASR wooden walls to be able to build this structure. You can build it out of vanilla. There's nothing stopping you from building it out of vanilla things. These guys are the exact same thing as vanilla, just I like them cosmetically better. So if you're on official, you can build it on official out of vanilla structures. It won't look exactly the same, but you can build it out of vanilla. Same with, I used glass for some of the windows. So those also, you can build them out of like the greenhouse glass or just build them out of a different kind of wall. But the greenhouse glass is what I use, or it's the modded ASR glass, so it's clear. I have mods, so I was able to use mods. I also built us this little happy hut. It's just super simple little hut on the back. It's used for our little admin center. So whenever my admins have to log in to do things to this community, like this community center, they have a little happy hut to log into. So it's just like some foundations around and then super simple little room on the back. It has all our admin stuff in it. And then two little sloped roofs with a little rectangle dividing them. That one was really just a super fast build there. And then I shoved some indestructible rocks at the side just to take the eye away from where I don't want people looking, which is around the back. Because there's nothing there. There's nothing there. There's nothing built. This is kind of where the build stops. So I put that as a marker to where the build stops. The rest over here is just the natural woods. We parked a couple of our tames from Omega over here just to give a little showcase to some of the Omega tames. We did two of our dragons. These are cosmetic trees. You can get skins on your servers and plop them as cosmetic trees. They're the red ones. We have them all over. And then we have a big Dreadnoughtus over there. This is also an Ark Survival Ascendant, so you won't be able to get him on Ark Survival Evolved. This build will not work on Ark Survival Evolved. You can try, but it's not going to be the same. The snap points and the building mechanics on both games are very different. We also used cosmetics, the JVR, like building stuff to do these crystals everywhere, just to give some difference. There's also a little sleepy danger donut underneath, just again to show off our Omega tames. He's just sleeping there. And yes, his body is supposed to do this frackle thing because he is an Omega dinosaur, and Omega is a beast all on its own. So this is one of the parts around the back of this like large building here that I had to get a little inventive with my building. I still want to do something that like connects the bottom of those railings to the wall, because it just seems like I have floating railing syndrome, like floating ceilings right there, and it makes me feel a little weird. So I definitely am going to do something. I might hang like ropes or something, or beams to go across, or do like a support beam on both sides, just so that it doesn't look like I have a floating ceiling or a floating balcony. I also put some rocks. These are also from the JVH mod. I put rocks around the bottom. They are strategic. They are to... oop, I'm going too fast. Going too fast. There we go. These rocks are strategic to hide the tremendous amount of walls I had to do. Because if we look here, I go right off the side of the cliff. So, there's a crab down there. These walls go here. There's also a cave down there. That is the entrance to an artifact cave. So if you are building here, be nice to the server you're on and don't block that cave. But yeah, these walls had to go all the way down. It's an eyesore from the back, just because I hate that. I literally hate that, but I don't know what to do to fix it. I'm thinking I might throw some rocks in through it to make it kind of look like the mountain is eating it. But for now, it looks horrible. From the back, I don't like the back at all. But most people aren't going to be looking from the back, at least I hope. So it's not going to be a giant deal from the back. I also have a base guardian right there. So one of the mods we have on our servers is base guardian. It protects your bases. Anything that comes within the range of that little robot right there gets deleted. Just gone. Make sure my base is safe from all the crazy Omega dinosaurs down there. I'm surprised that crab doesn't fly. Like, I'm on center. There's a rock golem right there. I'm sure some of those fish down there are going to try to kill me. Like, Omega's a creature. One of my first experiences with Omega was having a piranha on the starter beach leave the river and fly to chase me through the jungle. It's Omega's something. But so yeah, this is the back. That bit's also horrible. I'm going to throw rocks in the cliff to completely block that out. I needed to do that for the ceiling. But I am going to build some cliff up so that I can block that out of there. Now, here's the big cliff that I built the second building on. Like that thing up there. And it fits perfectly on top of there. I will show you guys that later as I showcase the remainder of this build. So we'll head over to the front. And I will start explaining how this thing was built. Dum 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 dum. So, first off, I built our teleporter pad so that everybody could get here. It's our community center, so I needed something for everybody to get here, and a feeding trough. It's just a circle. It's a very small little circle. So the thing to make circles, if you want to make circles in Ark, is using squares and triangles. However big you want your circle is how many squares and triangles you want. So if you want it small, the smallest size would be 1 square to 1 triangle. And you just go around the circle. Like square, triangle, and then eventually you'll go all the way around. As you add squares, you have to add triangles, or you're going to get a wonky not circle. It's going to be more of an oval. So if you want it to be a little bigger, you're going to want 2 squares to 3 triangles. So it'd be 2 squares, then 3, then 2 squares, then 3 triangles, and the same all the way around. And then you just keep going. If you want it 3, it goes to 5 triangles, and then you can make them as big as you want. There are 2 circles in this build. There's this one for the teleporter pad, and then there's that main circle structure right there. Actually, technically there'd be 3 circles. And then that one up there, but it's a little bit of a wonkier circle because I had to make some adaptations, including on the side a half circle. So this is your first circle here for your teleporter pad. And then we went up to our stairs. We have stairs at 2 wide going up to our deck, which is just an out. And then here's where our circles start going in. So we have a nice wide one here going around the edge. That is the, there's just the decking. I started off here and then worked one out. And then I went down to a little stone circle there. Now underneath these is a quarter wall. Like underneath these stairs, there's a quarter wall. So that you can drop it down to put your beam in the middle if you want to do something in the middle there. So this was a big circle that goes all the way around. And then I did the staircase to go up and get to that second building, which we will explain later. So for like an aerial view of this, it looks like that. So we have 2, and then 1, and then 2, and then 1, and then all the way around. And then it goes to 3 triangles to 2, to 3 triangles to 2, and then all the way around. You can mimic that however you please. And then there was a quarter ceiling down after you get there so that you can drop the floor. And then just fill it in with stone so it's a little bit different than your other stuff. And then after that, I built up to make the walls here. These are glass. These are my glass. You can use greenhouse glass, whatever you want, to go around the edge. And then I put a door on here to make a balcony. Actually, I'm a liar. The balcony is also a kind of wonky circle. But the balcony is also a giant circle. I have nothing here as of yet. I'm thinking of just doing like a giant garden or like shoving another dinosaur back here. I have no idea what I'm putting on here. But I put a balcony there because I had space. And I thought something nice would be able to fit there. So these walls going up is 1, 2, 3, 4 up. I believe 4 up. Yes. 4 up. 1, 2, 1, 2. With the railings all the way around. Again, I'm using modded structures, so if you are doing it vanilla, you can just use vanilla railings. Those are modded railings to make them look like bamboo. And then whenever I started going up, I started doing ceilings, or sloped ceilings, sloped roofs. Mine are the modded ASR roofs for the Adobe roofs, but you can use anything. The slopes are all the same. To do circles for roofing, it's the exact same as doing it for a floor. You just use the triangle ones and then the sloped square ones. And then I also did an overhang. So my ceiling goes up to just underneath there, and then I have a nice overhang that goes over top because I like how overhangs look on ceilings. And then for here, to allow a lot of natural light in, I did the like squares, the sloped square ceilings out of glass, and then a big nice line of glass all the way around. And then another layer of like roofs with no overhang and just railing. And then the little tower there, which I decorated it with upside down railings and the pillars all the way around. There's a lot of pillars, a lot of railings. All over there is also decorated with upside down railings and pillars. The roofs over here are also the same. They're the sloped ones for the middle and the little circle there to make the end of that one. And then this one's the same. It's the straights and then the little triangle ones for the end there. Basically, just follow your build at the bottom. If you keep following your build all the way up, you're going to just, things will start connecting. If something doesn't connect in one spot, try using another thing so that you connect without anything sticking through the build. So, and then there was the other ceilings there. I had to do a little bit different on the back because of my stairs inside. I made a little thing there, like a little, basically a window on the side of my stairs on the inside, so that my stairs would be able to properly go upstairs, which I will explain whenever I get to the stair part. We're working on the inside first. Go through this tree, then we'll go back inside. So after you get this part done, this is where I started. Now I didn't start the stairs. The stairs were done at the end. Make your building first, your main building first, before you start going up the cliff. So after that, just on the side here, so like one over from the door, we have like the triangles here, and then these ones, I went straight into where my crafting hall is. I did glass walls for nice, lots of natural light, and a killer view off the side there. Into my crafting hall. I'm also, my character is naked, don't mind that. Crafting hall with all of our stuff. This is cursed. Just let that sink in. Just let his eyes sink in. It's called the cursed idol. It's supposed to be cursed. So this is our crafting hall for our community center. There's two little outlets or inlets. Outlets, I don't know. Little dips that have triangles at the end of them here, just to give it some difference. On the ends here, same with right there, that one's also triangles going out. So the balcony goes around that, just so that it's not square attached to a rectangle. Give it some change. In here is, as I said, our crafting area. I have all my crafting structures, everything for my community to use. We don't do end game structures other than that guy right there, just because it's an incinerator. You can throw things in the garbage can. We have our little generator in the corner, and then our other view that looks off into the glory of the center. This wall is all glass as well. You can just use the greenhouse glass. I just realized that that pillar is not on that side, so I'm actually going to take this pillar off. So I'm just going to pick up this pillar. And then I am in, I guess, God mode for this video, just because I have to fly around and whatnot to show things to you. Okay, so there's that. And then I made a basement. So I had a giant amount of space underneath this build to build on this side, specifically this side because of the cliff. So I was able to throw in a basement. Our basement is for another wonderful view and full side of windows. And then our starter kits for people to come pick up their starter kits. Some beds if people need to use them. And then we always have at all of our community centers dino mind wipes and player mind wipes. So if people need to mind wipe, they don't have to make one. Like if they mess up on their engrams or something. And then we have our little admin room at the bottom, which just has stuff for my admins to use. Like vaults for my admins to use, our generator, another base guardian, a dumpster, and then the mind wipe refill. Because I had a whole bunch of space. There was still more space under here. Like if I fell down, it's all hollow. If I ever need to make it bigger, I can make it bigger, just the cliff makes it wonky. So I didn't want to make it bigger. There's a plant. Can I grab this plant? I cannot. But so that's the basement. It's just build down. Build your basement however you want it. And it's literally just build down. Build down and utilize the space that you have. And it's the same with going underneath and making a... You can have a second basement if you want. There is enough space depending on how far you go off the cliff. You can make an entire secondary house down there. So that's that part. And then I also did a second story. I just did, well, excuse me. I did the stairs connecting to here with a nice little window. And there's Mr. Krabs down there. He's decided to go fishing now. But yeah, a little window there. And the stairs that go up here. And then a beautiful open, completely open. I could jump off of here if I wanted to. Open side. If anybody ever has flyers, if people use their starter kits and they want to fly out, they can. And then we have our pickup station. So one thing with our servers, we have delivery boxes or post office boxes. So if someone has something that they pick up or they're a player on our server, we have delivery boxes for them. So if they're not online and we are, and we have something we need to deliver for them, they have a PIN code that we've given them. And they can just come and collect it. However, we can just drop something off in their post office box, like mail. And they can just come and pick it up. So this is the room for the delivery post office boxes. It has beautiful natural sunshine and light that just streams in here. At nighttime, we have a little lamp in the corner. There's lamps scattered all over the place. And it's just a ceiling on top of this area. This area is, again, 4 walls high. Well, here is 3 walls high. And then it gets higher up there. It's a very large building. Very large building. I based it off the size of a behemoth gate. And then right there for our little windows, those are doors. And then I used skins. Because skins are awesome. Everybody should use skins. I love them. From the Clingers, I think it's Clingers, however you pronounce his account name. Clingers rope. The rope bridges and the rope structures and the wooden structures. You can use skins on official if they're whitelisted for official. And then that is the main base for the main building. If anybody ever has like questions on this build, feel free to comment on this video and I will respond as soon as I notice it, so that you get all the information that you require to be able to build this yourself. I don't want to keep any of that info from you. So by all means, if you've enjoyed watching this video, leave a comment about my build, and if you liked it, if you didn't, what you want me to explain, and I can explain things in the comments. So here is where we had the stairs that did some weird things, and I had to make weird things for it. So I put some like little decor up here as well. I'm going to be changing it out to crystals in a little bit because I changed up our decor. But I did like a little window box right here because I needed something for these stairs to click to. I had some issues getting the stairs all the way up to the top, leaving enough room at the top. I have a bench and a pot because I didn't know what to put up here. And then here is the complicated part that whenever I started building it, originally I was just going to build the main structure. And then I was like, I want to make it bigger. So I built this bridge across and I didn't think it was going to work, and it worked really, really well. So this bridge goes all the way across, and right here at the bottom, it connects perfect to the ground so that the cliff does not clip through. It does not clip through the bridge at all, and it attaches to this roof part. It literally, it's like it was made for it. So it's just 2 doors. One of the doors clips a little bit through the side. That's fine. Nobody notices. Nobody's gonna care. And then you just walk through here. This is half a circle that clips into the cliff. So if you want to build this part, you will need clipping on so that you don't get weird holes in the sides, and because you have to clip through the cliff. There's no way you can't. This is where we're putting our VIP specialty vaults so that they have a special place of their own. And then I just put the stairs connected underneath so they go right up. I put some crystals on here to kind of remove that blank space. And then it goes into this wonderful building. So we did some decor with trees and crystals from the JVH mod. And then we made these little like VIP lockers for people to like so that we could fill them. It's the same as the pickup community boxes at the same time. Each one has a little dummy for armor, and then they have their little, 2 little boxes and a kibble box so that we could put things in there. But this is another circle. It's the exact same as the bottom one. Almost exactly. It's like 2 out here, and then the fill in with the triangles there, just it didn't go down. The floor isn't dropped because the cliff was there. I couldn't drop the floor. Or in all reality, if I could have dropped the floor, I would have, but I didn't want to. At this point in the build, in all reality, I was basically done. I had spent many, many, many days building this thing. I didn't want to build it anymore. Then it goes up here to the top, and that is just the exact same. It's just another ceiling. We have elevators right here from the ASR mod. It's the same mod that everything is built out of, ASR. So if you don't have elevators, you can use stairs. However you can connect that is up to you. And then up here is just one ceiling tall, and then we start in with the roofs. With the sloped roofs, exactly the same as the bottom. Can't see too much here because of the tree, but I'll show you from the outside in a minute. Exactly the same as the bottom bit, it's just the sloped roofs. There's an overhang on the other side. And then this is just more little lockers and more decor, and it's just the same ceilings to fill in the space completely to utilize the most room. From the outside of here, these walls are just, I just built them straight up. Made them half out of glass at the top so that it would be prettier. And then it's wood at the bottom. Just to keep people from falling out of it, like from there up the bottom. And then yes, the top here is just the same thing as down there. It's the adobe roofs all the way around. And then the big wall of window right there. And then it goes up to another thing of windows to the glass. More adobe, more glass, and then the little top bit. So we have our little crown. I just noticed I did not put the railings on here. I am not going to bother at this point, but if you want to put railings on here upside down to match the other side, it would also look good. I probably will be doing that later because it's going to bug me if I don't. And that's the same thing, big door. The bottom of it, just like down there, is made of stone, and then the rest is like wood, and then it's the same skin for these little windows here. And the rest is just glass all the way around. Like we can see all the way around here. It's glass, just 2x1s. And then the pillars. Another decor tree that I'm going through. We have a little decor tree right there on the side of the cliff to add some color. And then more pillars as I go around. I also noticed some on the other side that I completely forgot. So there are still some things that I could definitely add. More pillars, more of the upside down ceilings or upside down railings. That kind of thing. See, there's a line right there of pillars that I forgot. I forgot them on both sides. So actually, I'll do that now. Seeing that I'm here. And that's just this. You just plop them in there. These walls are 4 high. There's another one underneath that overhang. So it is 4 high before you get to this part of your roof. Did I forget another one? Oh shit, I did. Look at that. Look at me forgetting things. I'm actually going to delete this one so that I can plop that back in. But yeah, that's it for that. Pretty sure I didn't forget anymore. Did I forget anymore? It doesn't look like it. Doesn't look like I did. Actually, I'm a liar. I did, right there. I am the worst. Super forgetful. It's because they're under the overhang and I didn't notice them. Okay, there we go. So that is the entirety of this build. This bit is just wood at the bottom and then wooden foundations. I kind of scrambled to figure out how the heck it was going to fit. A lot of it is clipped into the cliff. Like, a lot of it is clipped into the cliff. Again, you're going to need clipping on or this part won't work. You're going to end up with all these little gaps where it can't fit on the cliff. That you're going to end up with things falling through. So just make sure wherever you plop this, it has clipping enabled. Single player or a modded server or your own server, I don't know. I don't know if official has clipping turned on. I don't think they do. But this build took me probably about 4 days. Oh, Onyx is here. Damn, Onyx, you're in my video. I see you. He's gonna turn around and get spooked. Also, his, like, outfit is glitching through his armor. He's having issues. But, so, yeah, that is the entirety of this video. If you have any questions, again, comment them in the comments, and I will answer anything that I can. This build took me about a week. There was a lot of times where I didn't know what to exactly do. And I kind of just had to guess with some things, which is kind of the fun of building. It's a lot of like figure out where this fits, where this clips, where it doesn't. Ark is a great place to learn to build in games. It gives you a lot of options. ASA is way better than ASE for building. Use cosmetic skins to make your builds better. And have a wonderful time. I'll see you in the next video.